Hi guys, welcome to the annual career guidance 2020. Today we're going to be talking about accounting, and joining me, I introduce you to Mr. Ditebogo Mago. He's an accountant and he's going to give us all the information that we need. Actually, you are an independent accountant, but you're going to give us information from being an auditor and counting money, whatever. I don't know, but yeah, we're going to learn a lot today. So over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Millicent, for having me.
You're welcome.
And I do appreciate being here. It's a great opportunity, and I believe that we're gonna learn, and I believe that I'm gonna share information that can be helpful to the audience.
Okay, thank you so much. So we can start with you telling us about your career journey, just a little brief description from where you started after you completed high school, and also like what accounting is, because for me, when you say accounting, I'm thinking, okay, these are the people who calculate money, and there's also a misconception that accountants are very stingy people. Also try to clarify that. But just share.
Okay, thank you for that. Accounting, okay, personally, after I finished my matric, I had to go do my degree in BCom accounting. And the minute I finished my degree, I had to go do my articles, which is the journey to becoming an accountant.
All right.
Then after you finish your articles, you must do your honors, your CTA, and then you must do your board exams, which will lead you to becoming a chartered accountant.
All right.
So that is the journey.
Okay.
So I've done my degree with UJ. I studied University of Limpopo.
What degree?
I did a BCom accounting.
BCom accounting. Okay.
So from that degree, and then I did my articles as well, which qualify me to become an associate general accountant.
All right.
And then it helps you to do certain things as an accountant as well. So briefly, that is the journey of becoming an accountant.
Okay.
I know that people say that accountants count money they don't have. They say we count money we don't even have. That is the misconception. There's an element of truth in it. To say we count money, people's money that we don't even have. But it depends what kind of an accountant you are. You must be a wise accountant.
Yes.
You must be a very wise accountant.
Don't allow yourself to be robbed.
Don't sell yourself cheap as an accountant. But basically, there are four important subjects when you do become accounting. One is accounting. Accounting, let me briefly explain.
In high school.
Sorry, when you get to varsity. In high school, for you to get into become accounting, you must do accounting.
All right.
You must do at least maths. You must also do big business economics and also your economics.
Do we have business economics in high school?
I'm not sure if you guys still have, but I did business economics.
In our curriculum, we didn't have.
You didn't have.
We had things like life orientation and life science and English, I think, as well.
But those subjects are key in making you get into become accounting.
And maths has to be pure maths.
Pure maths.
Not maths literacy, right?
I know universities like UJ, like your VETs, like your they don't allow maths lit. They want you to have pure maths for you to be able to do become accounting.
All right.
Because maths is very important as an accountant. Because you are dealing with numbers. So you can't.
You have to be good.
You have to be good in numbers for you to be able to do that. So once you do that, once you get into become accounting, you're gonna do main 4 subjects. There's gonna be other subjects, obviously, but once you get to your 3rd year, your majors will be accounting. It will be tax, and it will be management accounting, and it will also be auditing. Those are 4 key areas in accounting.
So you mentioned that when you're in high school, you have to do accounting, and you're saying there will be another major subject, which is, accounting being one of them in varsity. So how is that different? Like, for example, can I say as a student or a learner, I've already done accounting, I know it. Do I really need to do it in varsity? Is it any different from the one I've studied in high school?
It is, because it is a bit of a high level. You know what you do in university is just basic accounting, debit and credit.
All right.
Profit and loss. But when you get to varsity, there's more details. You get to now go deeper into the field of accounting, because accounting is all about record keeping. You know?
Okay.
If someone asks me what is about
simple
accounting
terms.
in simple terms, it's all about keeping the records. You know?
Financial records.
Financial records.
Yeah.
You have to keep accurate financial records.
Okay.
Records that can be supported by documentation.
All
For
right.
example, you cannot say I have 1 million as Millicent.
Yeah.
But as an accountant,
Yeah.
the first question I'm gonna ask, give me your bank statement
Yeah.
to support what you're saying.
Oh,
so
okay.
for you to say I'm a millionaire, I have to look at supporting documentation that says you are
And
really
you could
a millionaire.
actually prove me wrong.
I can
could
prove
say,
you wrong.
actually, you thought you were a millionaire, you're not.
Yeah, yeah, and actually,
interesting.
you know, you can be a millionaire on revenue, but you are not making profit.
Oh,
so as accountants, we
yes.
help people a lot
That is
because
possible.
there's more to accounting than just numbers.
Yeah.
Someone can be making income because most of the people, they are making income, but they are not making profit.
Yeah.
You can have a good figures on your financial statements, but you find that you don't have money in your account because you are not making profit. Yeah. So as accountant, we also advise as to the direction of the business, whether your business is making a profit or a loss.
Okay.
We advise in that regard.
So okay, cool. So we'll get to the part where now as an accountant you work for business, like as an independent. But before we get there, I'd like us to start from acquiring a qualification as a BCom. Is it BCom accounting?
Yeah, BCom accounting.
Yes, and then I just want to know, what are the opportunities for me? I'm holding a BCom accounting.
Yeah.
Obviously, I do not yet qualify to be an accountant.
Yes.
But what are the other things that I can do? Maybe going into corporate. Obviously, with the plan of eventually becoming an accountant. But surely I need to start somewhere.
Okay.
So maybe you can answer from, is it possible for me to get a BCom accounting degree and start serving companies as an independent? Or what are the opportunities?
Thank you for that question.
One. Yeah.
That's a very important question. Yeah, I think once you are, for example, you have to gain field experience.
Okay.
Once you are done with your BCom accounting, you can go into corporate.
Okay.
You can, for example, myself, I have worked in the private sector.
Before.
After I've done my BCom accounting.
Yeah.
I worked in the private sector for 2 years.
As a what?
As
junior accountant?
Yeah, just as an entry-level accountant.
All right, okay.
As a trainee accountant.
All right, okay.
So you start there to becoming a trainee accountant. We can't really call you an accountant per se.
All right.
Because you are still a trainee.
Oh, yeah.
You are still learning. You are still on articles.
Yeah.
So you have to go through 3 years of articles. Okay. After your degree, you have to do 3 years of articles.
What is articles?
Articles is online. It's on-site training.
Oh.
It's training on site.
It's required for 3 years.
Yes, for 3 years.
It's more like a doctor. You are a money doctor.
Yeah, money doctor. Financial doctor.
Yeah, financial doctor. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to be in the field and learn the how part.
Yeah.
In varsity, you learn the knowledge. You get the knowledge.
Get the knowledge.
But how to apply that knowledge? You have to go into the field. 3 years of articles. You'll be trained, put on different lines so that you can do different things. Do different kinds of business.
Yeah.
Do businesses in pharmacy, in medical, do businesses in insurance, so that after 3 years, we can now call you an accountant.
Okay.
Because you've finished your degree, you've also finished your on-site training.
And that would have been 6 years in total.
Then it would be
3
6
years of degree and 3 years of articles.
Yeah.
So when you're doing articles, can we assess you to say whether you can now be an accountant or not based on your performance? Like right now, let's say I'm done with my degree and then now I kickstart my articles and I'm really struggling. I'm always getting things wrong.
Yeah.
Can that disqualify me from being an accountant?
It can.
Okay.
Because articles are like on-site training per se. It's like on-site education.
Okay.
It is possible for you not to be signed off.
All right.
It is possible because every year you are assessed. Once you complete a job, you are assessed.
Okay.
Once you complete a job, your first year of articles, you are assessed. Then you go to the second level. You are assessed, you go to the third level. And then your training officer must assess whether you are ready to practice or not, to be an accountant. So you have to be signed off. For example, myself, I was signed off. From my articles, it means I'm ready because it means I know the knowledge and I also know the practical side. Yeah, that qualifies me to be an accountant. And it is very important. The minute you finish your articles, the opportunities are very wide in accounting.
Wow.
You can become a state accountant. You can work for the government and become a state accountant. You can also work for private.
Okay. Define state accountant. Sounds very fancy.
No. Yeah, that word sounds
like,
very fancy, but it's just being an accountant in government. Most posts
looking
when they are
after
advertised,
the government's money, or how they run, the operations of
more
like SARS.
Yeah, like SARS. You can work maybe for SARS or maybe Department of Education. There's a finance section and there are accountants there. So for example, when something is procured through procurement, the finance will do the payments. So state accountants are people that are responsible for that. Yeah. So
and you can qualify after you completed your articles, right?
Yes, you can.
And then other opportunities like you're about to mention.
As I've said, you can become an accountant. You can also become an auditor. Let me differentiate between an accountant and an auditor.
All right.
An accountant stands in the firm. For example, if you work for Department of Education, you are a state accountant for the Department of Education. As an auditor, you stand on the opposite side. So an editor, you come and do the work of auditing. If someone says I'm having revenue, for example, I've made income of 500,000, an auditor comes to check.
Like hawks.
Yeah, like the hawks. That's why as an auditor, people are always scared of you. I worked as an auditor, people were always afraid. I remember this one incident. We arrived at some client. We were looking for documents to support a certain transaction. And the lady did not have those documents. She was begging me, telling me about her children, for me not to give a finding in that regard.
So that's how people can lose jobs.
Yes.
Accountants are doing the Lord's work.
Yes.
You actually you're God's favorite. You're cleaning everything. All the backdoor stuff that people get to do. You are out there to expose everything. Concerning finances as well. Because finances are more like the heart of every business.
True.
So that is so interesting. I didn't know all of this. When I see accountants, I just thought all they do is count money. They're gonna tell me how much business has made. That's it. I didn't know about the auditing part, that it's actually part of accounting.
Yes, very intricate part. Because that's what I'm saying. When you're an auditor, you are coming from the outside, looking into the inside. Where you're an accountant, you are producing financial statements for the company. An auditor comes to check those financials.
Is that correct?
But it is the same field. Just to be clear, when you become an accountant, you can either choose after your 3 years of articles, you can choose which field you want to go. You can become an accountant, you can become an auditor, you can become a management accountant, which is a field most people don't know about. Management accountant.
Can you
being a management accountant, for example, today you have a business, and then you want to, maybe you decide, I want to sell my business. You will not need a pure accountant. You will need a management accountant to value your business. To say, my business is worth 5 million. You can't just think and say, no, my business is 5 million, I'm selling it. So a management accountant is like, the management does valuations.
Like the net worth. I've seen Bonang Mateba's net worth is $7.8 something million. So a management accountant actually is the one who came to that, did their calculations or valuations, and then they came to conclusion that this is your net worth.
This is the new net worth.
And for me, I used to think if my net worth, if it's $7 million, it means that's the price of my lobola. That's what I used to think that, really? If I were to be that person, it means that she's worth that. But now I get it's more like a brand. And sometimes maybe as an entrepreneur, like or like this small business owners, you get to have an idea and you need an investor, and they say to you, look, we can give you, how much do you need? And you say you need 1 million or you need 500,000, and then they ask you, how much shares do I get in return? That's where you need a management accountant. That's where you need management accountant. Because sometimes you don't know, your business is still new, the idea is great, and it has proven itself to can return a lot of money. but you don't know. Do you get 5% shares? Do you
what
get,
is it worth?
What is 500 worth in your business?
So actually, management accountants, they deal with the business worth. They deal with your advisory. They you know, when you register as an accountant, especially as a management accountant, there's what we call ACA.
Okay.
You know, and they also deal with business valuations and business advisory. Yeah, so you can also choose that field. There's the other field, which is what I want to talk about, which is the tax field.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm also a tax practitioner.
All right.
Yeah, so there's accounting, there's management accounting, there's auditing, and then the last one is tax. Tax is also a specialization on its own. So you, as an accountant, you can choose to branch into any of these 4.
Can you do all of the 4 at the same time?
You can do all of the 4.
Nice.
When you become all of the 4, we actually call you a chartered accountant.
Oh,
a chartered accountant is someone who can do all 4.
All 4.
Thank you.
I didn't know the difference.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for those who are watching. Please keep asking all these questions because this is just so interesting. And Mr. Ditebogo is going to make time to reply to every question that you have on my YouTube channel as we keep going. So we're gonna answer all the questions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so one last question. Maybe it won't be last, but another question.
Yeah.
So I used to hear people say, maybe when I ask what do you do for a living, they say I'm an accountant. But if you check what they do, all they do is to swipe. They just hold the company card. Does that make you an accountant, or you just a finance admin? Is there a difference? Because I thought finance admin is part of, and you are not even mentioning it as part of the 4.
Yeah. Remember, there are levels. You know? There are levels. If someone is holding the card, you know, that person is the boss. I mean, even at home, if you are holding the card between you and your wife, then you are truly in charge. So accountants are very interesting people. There are levels. You know, they are junior officers. You know, they are bookkeepers. Bookkeepers is more like just keeping the books of the business. But they don't have certain rights to sign off on financial statements and stuff like that. But there's levels even in finance. There's your chief financial officer whose responsibility can just be to sign. You know? Like myself, I've worked in the private. I also worked at the Auditor General to complete my articles. I decided after I have finished my articles, I'm not gonna go to work. I qualified to become a deputy director in government, but I said no, because I have passion for business. So I decided to go the business route.
Turn that passion into business.
Yeah.
So meaning this is very interesting to know that even if you studied accounting, you were very good with your articles and everything, you can turn that into business. You can start becoming a consultant and be your own firm, like independently of any employer. Okay, that's very interesting. You spoke about border exams. Can you elaborate on what that is?
On the journey of becoming a chartered accountant, a chartered accountant is more like an all-rounder. You can do anything.
Someone who can do all the 4.
It's like the cap in the accounting field, you know. And then you have to be a member of SAICA. SAICA is a body that regulates accountants. I'm also under SAICA, South African Institute of Chartered Accountants. So is
that another border exam?
No, it's a body. It's a body that regulates accountants. So under that body, they have what you call board exams. After you have done your articles and you have done your orders, we call it CTA. Certificate in the Theory of Accounting. That is the honors. Then after that, you must write 2 board exams, which after you pass, then you qualify to become a chartered accountant. And then when you are a CA, opportunities are endless in the market. Endless.
Can you, when you are a chartered accountant, can you also do like accounting services like internationally? What qualifies you to do international thing?
Sometimes you have to register with international bodies, you know, that are internationally recognized. I know that SAICA is internationally recognized, and you have to get certain permission from SAICA to be able to do international work. But if you are a CASA, CASA, Chartered Accountant South Africa.
I always see people say I'm a CASA on LinkedIn. they say SA, I'm like,
it's
CA,
like
CA.
you are in South Africa,
All
you practice in South Africa.
South Africa.
If you have to go abroad,
Yeah.
maybe it will change from SA. So SAICA will communicate with international bodies to be able to recognize you internationally.
Okay, they have to communicate on your behalf.
Yeah, because
it's money we're talking about. You can't just go and count dollars suddenly.
Yeah, true.
Wow, I'm falling in love with accounting.
You have to love accounting.
And now that I have more knowledge, but when it comes to work, I always say, am I in trouble? SARS is sending me emails. I just want to know if I'm in trouble. Okay, that's very interesting. So would you mind sharing with us challenges that are faced? I mean, with every career, I know there are challenges that are faced, and how can you overcome or give examples of the challenges that you personally faced and how you overcame those?
I mean, there's so much power that we hold as accountants. For example, as a tax practitioner, I know someone wants to become a tax practitioner maybe somewhere. It means that I am somehow a member of SARS, so to speak. I'm like a SARS associate, so to speak. So I represent SARS as a tax practitioner. So we hold so much power because...
Wait, so you are on SARS side?
No,
You're not on your client side?
I'm on the client side, but I'm like in between. I represent the client, but I'm certified by SARS.
Because you gotta choose sides.
Thank you. It's a very big challenge because SARS gave me the practice the license to practice. But at the same time, I'm representing the same client. I have to protect the client. The same client must pay SARS. So we hold so much power, and that's where, as a tax practitioner and accountant, you have to be very diligent, ethical. You have to be very focused and apply due diligence in doing your work, because you can become in trouble with SARS trying to favor the client
and lose your license
and lose my license. As accountants, because we see so much in the bank statements of clients, you are like, this person must pay 50,000 tax, and you are like, what should I do to assist them
to make sure they don't pay that much?
And there is what we call tax evasion. Tax evasion is actually illegal. When people evade tax. Let's say you underdeclare your income. You made 100,000, but you declare 50,000. It's a tax evasion. It's illegal. You can be arrested actually. There is what we call tax avoidance, which is actually a good way of avoiding tax, but in a legal way. For example, there is what we call VAT, value added tax. It's tax on products. Every product that you buy, there's VAT inside. So there is what we call, as an accountant, I can come and advise a company to say, you are saying you have to pay a VAT of 15,000. But when I look as an accountant, I look at the items that make you to calculate your VAT to be 15,000. I'm like, no, I can reduce this because you put some items there that are zero rated, that are not supposed to be at 15%. Then that is what you call tax avoidance. It comes with a professional advice. That's the value of the work that we do. But tax evasion, you can see what is happening now in the media. People are being fetched by the hawks. It's because of such things, and not declaring their income, not being faithful with declaring, submitting their returns and all that. So there's a whole lot of things that in the field that you can do as an accountant.
You know what? We had IT talk, and I felt like, oh my gosh, I can't live without IT. And we were given an example with the development of the ATM. Then I was like, I definitely need technology. I also had a talk with engineering, which is going live today, and I felt like, wow, these ones are in charge. But now I'm at accounting, guys, and I'm like, actually, we need accounting more. But when I look at all of those, like these 4 faculties that we chose to cover this year, I'm so grateful because they're all playing an important role, and also not only like for us, also for the economy of our country as well. So thank you so much for coming.
It's a pleasure.
And I really appreciate and more than anything, I must thank you for partnering with my vision. of impacting lives and bringing that hope and inspiration in other people's lives. So I hope we're gonna grow. This is a program that I plan to host every year.
Okay.
And obviously, me, it can't be the same every year. Next year we are going on fire. We're already on fire.
Yeah, I can see there's already fire in this room.
Yes. And next year we're taking it to the next level. And I just want to thank you for starting with me, because I'll always appreciate the small beginnings, right? So in closing, would you say any words of advice or words of motivation for all the aspiring accountants, or even the accountants that are already practicing?
Okay, be accountants, guys. Those that are listening to me, high school, be accountants. It's a good field, it's a great field, and it's a very broad field, it's an interesting field. Those that are already practicing, I'm saying let's continue to become ethical. Let's continue to represent organizations that we belong to well, like SAICA and SARS and all that. Because for money to circulate back into the economy, we are needed to do our job properly, especially because faithfully because we are in an economic recovery stage, like the president has done a speech on economic recovery. Much of that requires us to be strategic in going forward. And accountants, auditors, tax practitioners, economists play a key role in bringing that turnaround. So let's do what is right and help our economy to grow.
Wow, thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who's watching. I hope you're inspired. I hope you're motivated. And I hope this is going to groom a lot of many faithful accountants who are just going to do things right, like you were explaining. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, share, comment, and share with your friends. Thank you so much.
Peace.
Bye.